Welcome to the Ministry Pivot Podcast with Russell St. Bernard, a podcast designed to assist leaders as they seize the season of opportunity by pivoting toward it. Let's get started with today's episode.
Hey, thank you for getting on Ministry Pivot. Super excited to have you with us today, tonight, whenever you're watching, maybe you're listening as you work out. I really had a quick thought that I wanted us to talk about. Don't forget to like, to comment, to share, to subscribe. But let me jump into this quick thought. I was reading through several books all the time, but I was teaching a couple of weeks ago some leaders and some pastors, and talking through what it means to do systems, but also what it means to be able to be developing a strong team. And the word that I like to use throughout the word team is accountable. Accountable came up. One of the books that I shared with that group that I'll share with you, that I think I've shared before, is Unreasonable Hospitality. It's about the group that has an awesome restaurant in New York, 11 Madison Park. But inside the book, it talks about how each of the teams have things called like a grace note. Each of the teams realize that their part hinges on somebody else's part, but they're also accountable to the main vision and the main goal. And that made me think about what it means to be accountable and what it means to share in accountability with your team. And so I wrote a couple things down that I just wanted to share really quickly, again, with you, whether you're watching, whether you're listening. Maybe this will be helpful for you as you're building your team, because the truth is we all need to build our teams because we can't do everything all by ourselves alone. And I hope you realize that, because if you're doing everything all by yourself alone, you really are doing quite a little bit of what you could be doing, because the things work better when you do them together with your team. You're actually able to do more when you do less. I say this term all the time, but understand that the less you do, the more you're actually able to do. So dealing with accountable, I really wanted to break down this thought of what it means to be accountable. And I wrote it this way in my notes, that understand that when you are accountable, that means you are responsible, right? You're responsible for the outcome of your part of what the team has to do. I'm gonna say it again. You are responsible for the outcome of your part of what the team has been charged to do. You are responsible for the outcome of your part of what the team has been charged to do, but you're responsible. So the first person or the first place you're accountable to is you are accountable to your team. Understand that if you are serving on a team, if you're leading a team, you are accountable not just to what you want to be, but you are accountable to your team. And so you have to make sure you communicate with your team in a way that will help to foster accountability. But also you have to make sure that you act in a way that will help to foster accountability to your team, so that they're clear on what you're doing. No lone rangers, rather. No doing stuff late or doing stuff in the secret. No sending the stuff out without copying the teams on it. You want to be accountable to your team so everybody can have a good understanding of what's happening, but more importantly, of what you're bringing to the table, so that the team can be on mission and the team can win. The second thing that you are accountable is you are accountable to your purpose. You are accountable to what you are called to do. So you're accountable to your team, but you're also accountable to your purpose. And what I like to say here is that you are accountable to the standard that you know God has given you, not cheating yourself, not cheating other people. I had this trainer, big shout out to Patrice Murphy, big shout out to 7 p.m. Fitness, shout out to them. But Patrice and I used to talk when she was training and working with me. She would actually talk to other people as well. And she would say, when we were talking about doing reps, or talking about doing transitions, or talking about lifting weight, and people would be supposed to be lifting 90 pounds, maybe they lifting 50 pounds. She's like, yo, at the end of the day, you're not cheating me, you cheating you. Because you should be doing better than that. You know your potential. You know your purpose. You know that you can do better than that. So for you not to do better than that is really you cheating yourself, and not cheating me, and not cheating. So you have to be accountable to your purpose. And I'm going to obviously say, not only accountable to your team is important, not only accountable to your purpose is important, knowing that you can do more, or accountable to your potential, maybe a better word in that instance. But you also are accountable to God. You also are accountable to the Lord, because God has given you certain gifts. God has given you certain opportunities, and you need to be accountable to God in order to know that you're actualizing everything that God wants for you to do. You're actualizing everything that God has commanded for you to do. You're actualizing everything that God has charged and gifted you to do. And that leads to the last one, not only being accountable to your team, not only being accountable to your purpose slash potential, not only being accountable to God, but at the end of the day, being accountable to those who depend on you to finish. I just finished interviewing a mentor of mine for a pivot that you'll see in a little while. But I was super excited to be able to talk with him and hear some of his stuff and hear some of his struggles and hear and understand that at the end of the day, that I'm thankful that he was accountable to finishing. Because if he didn't finish, it would have made it harder for Russell to finish. It would have made it harder for Russell to take and do the next thing. And I really believe that that's the case for many of us. There are people who are depending on us. There are people who are depending on us finishing, and we have to be accountable to how we finish. We have to be accountable, understanding that once we finish, it's not just about us. It's about those that God has decided, that God has aligned, that God has assigned to come after us to take it further, to come after us to move it on. Think about it like a relay race and you passing the baton. Even though your leg may be hard, even though the leg that you run may be hard, maybe your second, maybe your third, at the end of the day, you have to be accountable to finish, because if you don't finish, somebody else can't start. If you don't finish, somebody else can't move forward. If you don't finish, it never moves to the place where it should be. And so hopefully you are thinking through ways in which God has called you to be accountable, people to which God has called you to be accountable, and ways in which God has equipped you for your purpose, for your potential to be accountable, not just for what you want, but to be accountable for those who are counting on you to finish. Again, thank you again for getting on Ministry Pivot. Super excited to see you, super excited to hear your comments, super excited that we're entering in and moving into this new year and seeing what God is going to do, but excited about the ministry that God has given you, because I'm excited that this is the season of opportunity. All you have to do is pivot, that's right, toward it. Thank you again for getting on. Don't forget to like, to comment, to share, to subscribe, and send this out to those, text this to those that you appreciate, and look forward to seeing you again. God bless.
That's it for today's episode of the Ministry Pivot. We hope you enjoyed listening and gaining some valuable insight. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss out on our future episodes. And if today's show has resonated with you, please leave us a review to help others discover our podcast. For more resources and updates, visit our website at ministrypivot.com. And be sure to join our email list, as well as follow us on Instagram at Ministry Pivot. Thanks for joining us today, and we're excited to have you back next time for another insightful episode of Ministry Pivot. Stay connected, keep pivoting. We'll see you soon.